Yeah, Trump wants to reopen. Barr is going to the States for the lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people come November are going to blame Trump for this when it's the Democratic governors who are insisting we stay shut down, and people are complaining.
And the Republican governors are the opposite. Like, let's keep open. Let's open everything.
Such a weird world, man.
It's weird, yeah.
Like we mentioned several times, Gallup polls showing Republicans in Congress have higher favorability now for the first time in like 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I tried telling people, it's like they want to accuse me of being biased, and I'm like, I think you just don't see what's really going on.
Yeah.
But give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
When I said all the things I said 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens 2 years later? Gallup poll comes out saying Republicans have a higher favorability. Why? It's not because I'm making things up or lying to protect the right. It's that the right was correct about what they were doing.
Yeah.
And the American people responded positively to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was like, see, I wasn't wrong. Donald Trump's approval rating's higher than it's ever been on average. It's gone down a bit from its highest point, but it's still higher than it's been on average.
Yep.
His favorability is up. New York Times says,
my opinion of him has certainly raised up higher.
You know what it is? I got to tell you, man, the more they lie, the more they get caught lying, the more anger I have for everything the media, the Democrats, the cronies have done. And I can feel it. When you go to that voting booth and you want to just stick it to the man by slamming down that Donald Trump lever.
Yeah.
Dude, Chuck Todd, he's MSNBC, right? Meet the Press.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He put out a clip out of context and got called out immediately for it.
Okay.
They used to think they could get away with this. They played a clip of Bill Barr, the Attorney General, making it seem like he was gloating that nothing, like, we're the winners, so we can do whatever we want, or something. Like,
okay.
Basically, he was asked about dropping the charges against Michael Flynn, and he said, well, history is written by the winners. So,
okay.
But he said, I think history will shine favorably, showing us we followed the rule of law. They cut the last part out, so it's him laughing, going like, history is written by the winners, like making it seem like, they used to do this stuff.
What? And no one was for it. They were like, this is BS. Like,
and they had to apologize.
Shut your mouth.
Yep, that's how bad it was.
Good.
Like everyone called him out.
That's
the
fantastic.
DOJ called him out.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it was really stark because Chuck Todd went on to say, well, he didn't say anything about following the rule of law or having any kind of compassion. Right. And then somebody showed the full clip and it was like, yeah, that's exactly what he said next.
That's exactly what he said.
Knew it.
Yep.
So here's what I see, man. I see these pundits on Twitter and they put out their like, it just insults all day. It's like you'll see a comment from a Trump personality or from the president, and they'll say he's stupid, he's ridiculous, he's a criminal, he's crook, he's corrupt. I'm like, these aren't ideas. Yeah. It's just you're just so annoying.
Saying your opinion, and that's news.
But the lies, man, the media lies.
Yeah,
makes me angrier and angrier. And boy, do I not want them to get away with all of the deception and the deceit and the lies. And it's really frustrating too, man, when I see my friends go on like Instagram and post stuff about how, we must remain locked down. Like the economy is like, people are so dumb. They want to save the economy. How dumb are they? They just want to make rich people, get richer. And I'm like,
it's like, no, that's happening already.
Right.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's the small businesses that are going under now.
Exactly.
So they
the supply chain, right?
But how do you talk to these people, man?
I don't know. They have a set mindset, and it's like they're getting triggered in any other sense, and they just go emotional. So all the logic goes out the window. You can't talk to people like that.
So I have friends posting on Instagram and Facebook and stuff where they're like, these heartless conservatives want people to get sick and die like Elon Musk, and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
What do I say over Facebook to this person I've known for years to let them know? I sent a message to a friend of mine who's like a high profile individual who was saying like no to reopening the economy.
Okay.
And I was like, the UN says 130 million people will starve. Should we just let those people die?
Yeah.
No response. Just ignore it.
Yeah, because it goes against what they believe. So they're triggered and get emotional and you're just an enemy to them now.
Is it possible that what's happening? So I've always been like both of us. Well, all three of us we're like calm, rational, logical people.
Yeah.
And so we're driven away from these hyperbolic, emotional, like pointless reactions.
Agreed. Yeah, I definitely am.
So is the right becoming a more calm and logical place, still with its emotional reactions for sure, And is the left becoming a haven for the people who just react emotionally?
I can't speak for the right because I feel like I'm still in the center, and that's where I mean, because I agree with both sides, I disagree with both sides. So I think far left are crazy people that I don't associate with at all. But
here's what I mean.
okay,
You are moderate, probably left. Well, actually, you took the Compass test. You're a liberal.
I am on the left.
And so here you are
But
talking about
close to center though.
Right. But that's normal. That's where like
Right.
liberals have usually been. So what I kind of think might be happening is when someone like you or me sees a conservative and a liberal on Twitter, and the liberal is yelling "re," and the conservative is saying "I humbly disagree."
Right.
Which one do
and
we
here are
drift
my
towards?
reasons.
Right.
Right, exactly.
I mean, when you put it that way, that's absolutely the person I would side with.
So then my question is, over time, will we end up seeing the right, I'm doing air quotes as to whatever the right is, be a bunch of people calmly sipping their tea and saying, well, dare I say, good sir, my question about the economy has to do, and then, Peter Jordan, well, let me tell you about what I think, and then Joe Rogan's like, that's crazy, I never thought about that. And on the left, it's, well, to be less silly.
That was a very good read, by the way.
That was
Re-
excellent.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Quality.
I had to try and tone it down because I didn't want to scream.
I know, it's good though.
Thank you.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if people who have emotional reactions and don't care to do research are manipulated into believing all this fake stuff, then the left will just be people who are all waving their arms in the air going, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," while the people on the right are going to include moderates, liberals, conservatives, libertarians,
Yeah.
all being the right and having a wide range of views, but having a conversation about
That's kind of what I was saying earlier, where it feels like those people on the left that are reeing are just slowly fading away because they're becoming more and more in a spotlight. For one, people that girl who screams no when Trump won,
Yeah, man.
she's now a forever meme of just.
And who wants to be that?
Yeah, who wants to be that person? Everyone's like, wow, that person's ridiculous. Look how emotional that person is. And it's like, yeah, or you could, get political and try to make a difference instead of just standing there screaming no, doing
But
absolutely nothing.
The re thing is I'm exaggerating a bit, right? To be fair,
Right.
I'll put it this way. I have a friend with hundreds of thousands of followers who makes a post saying, we can't reopen the economy. All it will do is make the billionaires wealthier and it'll sacrifice the poor people. And so there's no logic there. There's no real understanding of how the economy works.
Right, you're right.
Complete disregard for the science and the economics of it.
And they're not backing it up, I'm assuming.
No, just saying.
Just saying
Just
it,
saying the government should just give us money and waive rent. That's what they said to me. And so when I respond with, how will these companies pay their employees if you don't pay their rent? Like the landlord isn't some guy like in a castle with a crown.
Right.
It's a dude in an office who's like, I've got a bunch of properties.
Yep.
I got to pay, here's my mortgage, here's my interest, here's my bills, here's my groundskeeper, here's my staff, here's my electrician, here's my repairman, here's my,
Yeah.
the delivery guy. How will all those people get paid if you say you shouldn't pay rent? Well, the government should pay it. Okay, where does the government get the money? They just print it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my question is like, your reaction has no basis in reality.
Exactly.
You've done no research. You've read no news stories. You have reckless disregard for those who would starve to death. Is that what the left has become?
Letting people starve to death is basically like letting the poor die. And that was their argument to keep it closed, wasn't it?
Exactly.
That,
The small businesses are
like,
collapsing.
Wait, what?
The small businesses are collapsing, not the corporate enterprise.
Right,
The billionaires are
exactly.
making money.
Yeah.
They're
The
simultaneously...
billionaires are fine right now.
Yeah.
They're not worried.
That Robert Reich guy or whatever his name is that his name? Robert Reich or something?
Robert Reich? I'm not
I don't know,
familiar.
he's annoying.
Sorry.
Elon Musk tweeted that he was boring and stupid or something. But
Oh, shoot.
he tweets out like billionaires added, $200 billion to their wealth during the lockdown while poor people are suffering. It's like the poor people are suffering because you've shut their businesses down.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
understand? So it's like,
And they lost all their jobs, even if they weren't their own business.
Yep.
Let 'em go
Now
back
they
to
have no
work.
jobs. Their strenuous life, the line that they were riding, now it's all crumbled away.
so how do you talk to, what do we do?
Yeah.
You know what, man? It's crazy because I've always been really good at communications. Like I did fundraising for nonprofits, literally communicating with the public to convince them. And I'm at a loss for how we deal with these people. It's like, how do you deal with someone who says, I believe in science. And then when you go, here's a study saying people are dying and starving to death and the mortality rate is low. And they go, no. And they throw it in the garbage.
They don't want that study.
Yep.
Yeah.
That challenges my belief system, so I'm not gonna listen to that or believe it. And that's what they do.
Yep.
They're like, nope, I'm good. I don't have to agree with you or argue with you because you challenge what I believe.
That's scary.
So I'm just gonna go the other way and ignore you forever. Block.
Yeah.
It's like,
easy.
like,
you know
what?
the crazy thing about it is when I was growing up, It was the religious people who behaved more that way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm right, I don't care, this is what's true.
Yeah.
And now it's all of a sudden you have like, I was talking to people about this, notably Ben Shapiro's philosophy, because he's very religious, he's an Orthodox Jew, but he's libertarian. So it's like his idea is kind of like, I'll mind my own business and practice my religion how I want to.
I like that.
But now it's like, it's the flipping. It's probably why the conservatives have a higher approval rating in Congress. Something switched. The left started, you know what I was thinking? Maybe it might be that it works this way with trends too and cultures. So you have the left of like 10 years ago. You got Jon Stewart.
Right.
Funny guy, honest guy.
Great guy.
He called out Joe Biden, the audacity of grope, uncritically showing Project Veritas, like legitimately showing Project Veritas and praising the work they did.
Yeah.
Even though Veritas, is, right-leaning or whatever people want to accuse them of.
Yeah.
Today, it's all like attacks and smears. But here's what I think happens. You have someone like Jon Stewart and you have a left that actually has thought leaders, comedians, funny people. And so all the cool kids are involved.
God, I miss those days.
But so the left was cool.
Yeah.
Jon Stewart was leading the charge in like a comedic way to deliver the news to people.
Yeah, he was great.
It was clever too because people didn't care about the news. And he found a way to get people to care, and it was funny and it was cultural.
Yeah.
What do we get after Jon Stewart? Samantha Bee, John Oliver, Trevor Noah. That's just fake. It's them lying and making stuff up. Jon Stewart was legit. So here's what I think happens. The cool people, the skateboarders, for instance, were on the left because the left was being rational and honest. When the left stopped being rational and honest, started attacking the thought leaders, and the thought leaders started leaving, we lost George Carlin, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a huge, hit for what the sane left was.
Yep.
Jon Stewart retires. Now the cool people are watching the people shrieking in cancel culture, and so they're more attracted to the right, which is fun and memes, leaving all of the, like a leaderless movement, essentially.
Yeah.
The left has become emotional, reactive, and leaderless. No look at Joe Rogan, for instance.
Okay.
He says he'd rather vote for he wanted to vote for Bernie.
Yep.
Then he says I'd rather vote for Trump. But they call him like alt-right and all this other weird stuff.
Of course.
So it's like if Joe Rogan, who is a lefty, pot-smoking...
You say they, but that group
the re-left
feels so small now. There's just a small group of people. That's what it feels like to me. Like they're just screaming and they have a platform to scream on, which is Twitter and mainstream media even. It's like they're all over there.
But the social media companies protect them and ban everyone else.
I know.
Because
it's not going to last very long.
But it's because they were always default.
Yeah.
Like Jon Stewart was cool and valuable, HBO, all these things. And so the big companies are late to the party.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that the ad dollars are propping up things people don't like.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we're crazy. Maybe we're wrong.
It's going to crumble eventually, though.
Maybe people like being in ignorant bliss. Maybe we're the minority.
I think that's the real boogaloo that's going to happen. It's just going to be, it's going to be a battle between those two forces, but they're going to be smushed. The majority, as far as what I believe, is people in the middle and on the right looking at the left like, wow, they're really crazy now.
This is why they hate YouTube. On YouTube, when they put up one of these stupid social justice commercials, obliterated.
Yeah,
They
sure.
disable the comments, they disable the like and dislike ratio.
I love that. That's hilarious. Then eventually just delete the video.
But think about what Reddit does. Reddit starts banning. The moderators will ban a conservative post or a moderate post. And so then what ends up happening is Reddit... So this is the way I was explaining it earlier. If you have 100 people, 50 conservative, 50 liberal, that means there's a good civil war between ideas.
Okay.
It's like, I might say like, I like oatmeal cookies. No, chocolate chip is better. And someone says snickerdoodle. And you have sometimes you'll see a snickerdoodle post or a chocolate chip post or an oatmeal cookie post.
Okay.
But then Reddit says, we don't like oatmeal cookies because sometimes raisins are in them. So we're going to ban anyone who posts oatmeal cookies.
That's a shame. I love oatmeal cookies.
All of a sudden, the oatmeal cookie people start leaving.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we don't get to hear about oatmeal cookies anymore.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, chocolate chip just starts skyrocketing. And now there's no way to ever get a post upvoted that's about oatmeal cookies because they started removing posts. So Reddit becomes hyper-polarized, and people get washed into that insanity.
Oatmeal gate.
So anyway, the point is, you say like, they might get crushed, they might be small, but the institutions are propping them up. Like no one in their right mind, no sane, reasonable person thinks Joe Biden can be president.
But they're losing their power. Like Reddit is losing their power.
I mean, kind of.
I think it is. I think
their
so.
ranking has been dropping a little bit.
This doesn't surprise me. And I'm
Yep.
sure the same is for YouTube. Like, who knows? Like, BitChute's now around, Minds is out. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
there's going to be a competitor. People have asked you, and I know it's because YouTube sets up all the different things into one spot, so it's hard, and they can easily probably put someone down if they're going somewhere else. But I mean, it's only a matter of time.
This is why I think they attacked
Twitter, same thing.
I think they attacked YouTube so hard because with YouTube, people who, if you click the video and then you watch for a long time, YouTube recommends it more.
Okay.
It wasn't about an arbitrary group of moderators deleting stuff.
Yeah.
So this allowed content that people actually like to start doing really, really well. And there's been a massive spike in conservative content. At least they call it conservative. What I really think it is, it's the culture war right.
Right.
I don't think it means right wing or left wing in the political
it's
sense.
more just not left.
Right.
Would be more accurate.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, because in the rankings they consider my content conservative. When I made a video where I'm like, the death penalty should be opposed by all measures, like at all costs, and a bunch of conservatives argue with me like I disagree, and I'm like, well, I oppose the death penalty.
Yeah.
It's not a conservative opinion for the most part. I say for the most part because it's a particularly libertarian position.
Yeah.
But it's like I can say my position and my politics, which are clearly liberal left leaning, as are yours.
Yeah.
But because we'll rag on the left, they say we must be right. So this kind of content is skyrocketing. These social justice racist commercials are getting attacked left and right.
Yep.
But then you know what it's almost like venture capitalists and advertising agencies are trapped 10 years ago when they thought the left was hip.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
I have rock stars. I say rock stars, but like very famous musicians
Really?
who hit me up.
Oh.
And like we'll be like, yo, bro, I saw your video, man. And they'll say like, here's what I was thinking.
COVID.
Pro skateboarders.
I want to jam with these people.
Yeah, seriously.
I want to
Lock
skate.
down.
I want to skate with those people.
Dude,
COVID.
the craziest thing to me, I've said this before, but it bears repeating in the context of this video. When I got hit up by some of these pro skateboarders,
Yeah.
like, dude, skateboarders trespass. They break
Yeah.
the rules. They care for no laws.
Totally.
They're anarchist, like libertarian. And they were hitting me up being like, I agree 100%. Like, this is nuts. Dude, you know what it is? I think skateboarders really, not for the most part, because a lot are probably just not paying attention. But at the core, like these authoritarian leftists and the weird social justice stuff, it's fake social justice. It's authoritarian. And it's the antithesis of skateboarding.
Yep.
Skateboarding is all about you conquering by yourself. Like a skateboarder will tell you, hey man, you got to do it. You got to drop in.
Right.
No one's going to drop in for you.
Yep.
That's the antithesis of what they say.
It's true.
Like you need to, no, someone has to drop in for you because of your privilege. It's not fair or something. You're too tall. You're a man. You're a woman, whatever. So I started getting hit up by skateboarders telling me they agreed and stuff. And I'm like, some people that I've known since I was a kid and looked up to, I was like, wow, man, like these people are hippies. Like these are the leftists who are like chilling, smoking pot on the beach, arguing against the Democrats right now. That to me was like, I think these marketing companies
Yep.
still just assume the left is cool.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, man. Side note, and
They'll
then
figure it out. They'll follow the money.
we should jump to the skateboarding segment in this, But I'll make one more quick comment. There was a post on Reddit about, it was like F the alt-right or something.
Okay.
Like it's a subreddit dedicated to ragging on the alt-right, which basically doesn't exist anymore, like as a movement, like it's been wiped out by social media.
Okay.
But it was a picture of Desmond, the 11-year-old drag queen. Dance.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Desmond story?
I don't think so.
11-year-old boy ripping off their clothes on stage for money as adult men throw money at him.
Okay, I've heard about this, but I never saw the video.
So someone
Was it really cringe?
It's horrifying.
Ugh,
it's horrifying.
Sounds terrible.
Like, so I don't want to get too into detail, but it's a little boy pulling off his clothes on stage. He's wearing clothes underneath, multiple layers.
Okay.
And then men throw dollars at him. I asked some people I know who have familiarity with the Gentleman Club Enterprises, strippers. I know some strippers, and I asked them.
Sure.
And they told me that was stripping. They said that what people don't realize about stripping is that a lot of strip clubs don't allow full nudity.
Yeah.
So the women wear like sports bras and sports running shorts. And when they strip, they're still fully clothed underneath.
Okay.
And so I was specifically told about that video. They're like, oh yeah, like in South Dakota, 100%, that's legit stripping. Like that would be considered stripping to any stripper in like these areas and these jurisdictions.
So is this who's okay with this video? Like
The tribal left. So this is the point I was
What?
getting to, like where I think things might be starting to break maybe, is that somebody was attacking the alt-right, posted the picture and said something like, right-wingers keep trying to post this to attack this poor child or something. And then I looked at the comments, and the comments were all like, no, I kind of agree. That's messed up. Like, what the, like,
Yeah.
oh my, like, is this kid dance? What is this?
Yeah, what?
Like, people actually saw it, and they were like, what? Like, this is messed up stuff. Put it on TV, though. Like these I don't know which channels I want to call them out and get in trouble, but a bunch of channels are, like, praising this and cheering for it. Yeah, dude, it's getting nuts out there, man.
My goodness.
So, yeah, I just bring it up as the last bit of, like,
That's
it's
terrible.
one of the more extreme instances. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.